Alright, just got back from seeing Chainsaw Man, the movie Reze Arc in theaters. That's pretty much everything I could have hoped for. Um, Man, that movie was a lot. So, Chainsaw Man anime and manga have been a big thing, as you might have noticed. The first season of the anime was very controversial in terms of its color design and compositing and stuff. Personally, I thought it was an acceptable choice for Chainsaw Man, but I could also see why it would rub people the wrong way since it's very grimy and often purposefully garish. The movie is definitely lightens up on that a lot with this new director, Tatsuya Yoshihara, who worked a lot on the TV series and has now been promoted to the director role, and man, he is doing some fucking magic with this one. This was exactly what a movie adaptation of a manga, or at least an arc of a manga, should be in terms of visuals. It is an upgrade from TV animation in every single way possible. Whether it's like the just straightforward stuff like more insane action scenes, more crisp character movement, more attention to detail in the backgrounds and just the compositing and stuff like that, or in the more extreme and abstract and cinematic things with just the how do I even describe it? There's so much visually that the animation uses. There's rotoscoping, it fucks with the frame rate, it has like elements of photorealism. It just goes completely in the opposite direction with some stuff that's very abstract. It does pretty much everything you could possibly think of doing visually, except for like just straight up live action. And it does it absolutely spectacularly. The color design is insane. This is one of the most colorful and eye-grabbing movies that I've ever seen. With the exception of like a few scenes towards the beginning of the film, there was nothing about this that didn't look incredible. Even the very first frames of this movie show that it is going to take this in a much more experimental direction than just a straightforward adaptation, and boy, does it accomplish that, and it brings out all of the most important themes and motifs of the manga. In particular, this Denji's growing attraction to Reze over the course of the film is highlighted so perfectly. It is this like Denji just actually like falling in love with someone who is not just like, who is not Makima, who is not someone who has a position of power over him and is not the complicated relationship that is. It's much more just two young people getting to know each other and then unfortunately falling out because circumstances. If you have not seen this arc or read this arc of the manga, I will not be spoiling what ultimately happens with all of that, but man, there is some very powerful stuff in this. Just the Denji's emotions that we normally don't get to see these kinds of emotions from this particular kind of character, really. Just the way that he feels like he's just being fucked with all the time is very interesting to see. And Reze as this extreme femme fatale character is just brilliantly executed all the way to the very end. Again, can't go into spoilers, but the specifics of her character and the what her true emotions actually are and how much we get to see of those emotions and how much we have to guess on them is just incredibly compelling to see. Also, fucking pitch perfect casting with Reina Ueda as Reze. I best know her as Akane from Gridman. While we're on the topic of casting, also Beam, fucking also perfect casting with Natsuki Hanae, who is Tanjiro from Demon Slayer. Just that perfect whiny gratiness, which is absolutely perfect for Beam. As soon as he opened his mouth, I was like, that's exactly what I imagined Beam sounding like. That is exactly what I thought he sounded like in my head. And, yeah. And I guess going along with that, sorry, I'm sort of rambling. I'm just kind of trying to connect all the disparate ideas I have about this film. But, like, going along with that, this film is a really great combination of, like, this is the thing from the manga, and then this is the thing that I wanted to do film-wise, like turning it into a movie. It is a really strong combination of both of those things. Like the action scenes in particular, like a lot of them were just like, oh wow, yes, they're doing that part from the manga now. Oh, that looks so fucking cool. The way that they were able to animate that and construct that and frame everything with just these massive fuck-off explosions going on so constantly. Like, basically the entire back half of this film, with the exception of, like, the last 10 minutes, is just all action. It is just one long fucking action scene. Debatably, it went on a little bit too long. Like, I think there was at least one moment where I was like, maybe we should wrap it up here, because it just feels like the action is still incredible and it's still doing incredible work with the action. It's just fatigue from having an action scene this long. And eventually it does like to start to break it up a little bit into like more digestible chunks near the end, but then there was at least one moment where I was like, maybe start wrapping it up. But yeah, this was pretty much everything you could have asked for. The subplot with Aki and the Angel Devil, was really well executed, which I think I actually like it better than I did in the manga. Granted, I read the manga like 3 years ago at this point, so I don't quite remember everything that I felt at that point, but based on what I remember, I definitely feel stronger about whatever their relationship is now from this movie than I did when I read the manga. It is just the way everything is framed and the tension and the setup and payoff and all of that was just extremely well executed. Yeah, this was just an absolutely phenomenal film. This is just about everything I could have hoped for. Oh, the fucking soundtrack. I can't believe I almost didn't talk about the soundtrack, which was absolutely goddamn phenomenal. Probably one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard, period. And I'm pissed off that I didn't look up who did the soundtrack before jumping into this review. I looked up everyone else except that. But the way that it just swings so intensely between different emotions and just pulls so much out of them. There's the very intimate, melancholic stuff with as Denji and Reze are growing closer to each other. This very just incredible wellspring of like youthful emotions, and then just the absolutely wild insanity of all the action scenes. Apparently, we got an extended cut of the Maximum the Hormone OP, which I believe was the third OP for the TV series, and is the best one in my opinion. Or no, not the OP, the ED, the third ED from the series. We got like an extended cut of that during one of the big action scenes, which was fucking awesome. Yeah, this is just about the best thing you could possibly hope for with this one. I had like a few nitpicks here and there, but otherwise absolutely phenomenal showing. I'm feeling like a decent 8, or what am I talking about? Decent 9. I'm feeling a decent 9, maybe even a strong 9 on this one. This was really damn good. Okay, and that's about all I have to say on the Chainsaw Man movie. In the meantime, for you guys, you can check out the rest of my seasonal wrap-up show that I'm currently doing right now. I'm like 4 episodes ahead at this point, so there's going to be a lot of flashing back to the previous setting. And I'm not sure if there will be any theaters around me showing the Angel's Egg theatrical release, but if there are, I will definitely try and get out to see that, because I would absolutely love to watch that again. It's been well over a decade since I've seen it. But until then, my name is Ember, and I'll see you next time.